Okay. We lost the tree for a minute. The internet here is not as good as I would like it to be.
Player 2 wins.
Hey! Yeah, you!
Okay. So we were talking about Firebrand. This is all recorded too. So
okay,
we have the recording of the beginning of the interview. So if anybody missed it, you can watch the recorded version. Anyway, so we covered Firebrand.
Welcome to the world of Capcom 3.
結構ね、それ以外でもかなりテクニカルなキャラクターなんで、ほぼ慣れるまで結構あれかなと思うんですけど、これ結構使いこなせると非常にこう面白いキャラクターなんじゃないかなというふうに思います。
Firebrand is really good in the air. He's good for all types of air attacks and air combos. That's where his strengths lie. His basic controls, he's probably a little harder to get a hang of than your average character in this game. But I think once you get the hang of him, it's really rewarding. There's a lot of good stuff you can do with him.
Awesome. So, tell us a little bit about the Marvel characters. I mean, we have Hawkeye, Ghost Rider. Tell us a little bit about Ghost Rider first, I suppose.
ゴーストライダーはね、前作ちょっと候補にも上がったキャラクターではあったんですけども、うまくこうマーベル作品の調整だったりとか、キャラクターとしてこういう風にしたら面白いんじゃないかっていう目処が立ったので、今回ゴーストライダーを一番に入れたと思いました。
Yeah, Ghost Rider, we finally have him in the game. That was what Marvel was really pushing for, to have him here, and they gave us a lot of suggestions, a lot of stuff from the source material for interesting things he could do in the game. So we were able to really flesh him out and make sure he's a good character in the game.
で攻撃方法なんかはこうなんだろうね、原作であるように光を使ってこう特徴的なキャラクター動きをしたりとかするので、これでこう引き寄せたりとかこう攻撃したりとかこうそれを使った、キャラクターの本来です。
And of course, you notice he uses the chain whip, which he has in the comics as well. And so in the game itself, you can use the chain whip for a variety of effects. You can pull in opponents close to you, you can repel them, repel attacks, and there's all these good things that you can do with that.
あとはバイクとか使ったりとか、あとは技だったらベナンスとか原作にあるようなこうネタとかもいっぱい入ってるので、これはこれで楽しみにしてください。
And there's a lot of things from the comics that we put in, especially fans from the comics we look for. We got his bike in there, which you can use in an attack. You can use penance there, the Ghost Rider penance there. That's all part of everything from the comics we've actually put in here.
That's cool. So, tell us a little bit about Hawkeye. I mean, someone's using Hawkeye right now on their team. I actually had no idea who he was ahead of time.
Oh,
what's his story?
Hawkeye.
Player 2 wins.
結構ホークアイに関しては、マーベルさんからかなり強いプッシュがあってぜひ作ってほしいっていう風なキャラクターだったので、まずそういうところから選定の一つとして、始めてます。
Okay, yeah, Hawkeye, he was a choice that Marvel was really excited about. They really were pushing to have him in the game, and so because they were excited about putting him into the game, we decided, okay, let's give it a shot.
でやっぱり特徴的なのが弓っていう武器があるんですけど、やっぱりファイティングアクションゲームでこう弓だとこう遠距離キャラ攻撃しかできないんじゃないかっていうふうにこう最初は思ったんですけども、ただいろいろ特徴付けをしていく上でファイティングアクションゲームのキャラクターとしても非常にこう特徴のある、面白いキャラクターができたんじゃないかなというふうに思います。
So at first, I mean, Hawkeye uses bow and arrows, so everyone's obviously going to think that he's good for ranged attacks, you know, long distance attacks, and obviously he does have that, but as we were making him, we have to give him close quarter combat attacks as well.
Right.
And we started putting those into the game and realized, oh, he's pretty interesting. He's pretty fun. There's a lot of unique things he can do that you wouldn't think he could do at first. So he turned out to be really fun to make, actually.
I've seen a lot of people experimenting with him, you know, even during when we've been streaming the game. Looks like he's got a lot of nasty tricks up his sleeve.
ユーザーはホッカイのこと気に入ってるようですけど、たくさんユーザーがプレイしてて、技は結構豊かです。
そうですね、本当に指っていう風だとこう矢を打つだけっていう風にしか思っちゃうんですけども、それだけじゃなくてこう近距離でも面白い動きができたりとか、あとはやっぱりホークアイでいくとね、今回発表した技で必殺技にアントマンが出てきたりとかすごい凝ってたりするんで、これもねゴーストライダーといって原作のネタをこういろいろなところに入れてるんで、これも楽しみにしてもらえればと思います。
Oh yeah. First of all, I mean, like we said, people think you just got the bow and arrows, but first there's a lot of variation to those arrows and what they can do. He's got the up close and personal attacks, which have a lot of variety, a lot of cool things they can do. We've also one of his hyper combos. We've got Ant-Man in it. So it's him and Ant-Man teaming up for one of those special attacks. This is something that they had in the original comics.
Yeah.
We've really looked at the original material, taken a lot of that, and tried to incorporate it into the game.
That's a really nice touch. You know, it's nice to see that all of the throwbacks to the comics. I mean, especially reading them growing up and such. Like, it's really cool to see that. Even though, I guess with Hawkeye, I didn't know who that was, but yes.
原作によるネタを入れ込んでて、それはファンたちにとってすごく喜ぶ要素だと思います。
はい。やっぱりこのゲームやっぱり人気キャラクターがそれぞれ原作マーベルのキャラクターもカットにもそれぞれの原作のネタがあるので、やっぱりそれをうまくファイティングアクションゲームのキャラクターとして技だったりネタだったりにして落とし込んでいくのがこのゲームのすごい一つの面白さであり特徴であるかなというふうに思います。
Yeah, I think with a game like this, if you can, you want to go to the source material, whether that be like the original Capcom games or the comics or what have you. You want to try and put those little touches into the game because fans look for that. They like those sort of things. And I think for a fighting game itself, it helps bring out the flavor, the personality of individual characters. So it's a fun thing you can do.
Yeah, I think that's part of Marvel versus Capcom too. Every character has such a unique personality on top of their fighting style. I mean, some of the key ones that stick out that were executed great. I mean, Deadpool and Hulk, the way he calls the characters different funny names as they come out, you know.
やっぱりこういうゲームでするとそれぞれのキャラはちゃんと個性があるからそれはとても気に入ってます。特に例えばデッドプールも結構個性的なキャラやし、ハルクはパートナーチェンジの時にいろんな方があるからそれが面白い。
そうですね、そういったちっちゃなこうネタ、やっぱり知ってる人が聞いたり見たりすればすごいこうニヤッとこう笑うようなそういうネタっていうのも本当にこうちゃんと探さないとわからないぐらいの細かいところまで実はいろいろ作ってるんで、その辺をこう探すのもこのゲームの楽しみの一つかなというふうに思います。
Oh yeah, we're always happy to put those little touches in the game, those little things that the fans can either hear or look for. And I think when they do see those things in the game, I mean, they might have a little chuckle to themselves. I mean, if you don't know it, it doesn't impede your enjoyment of the game at all. But having those things in there helps round out the game as a whole, make it a more enjoyable experience.
Awesome. So, before I ask a couple more questions, I'm going to tell the chat. Guys, if you're watching, if you're in the chat, start asking us questions. I'll be looking at them and pulling a few to ask Niitsuma-san. So, while they're thinking of questions, I was going to ask more about the gameplay. I know we talked a little bit that there were some adjustments in the game that you announced it, but can you talk a little bit about what those are, maybe? Just a couple of them?
ゲームプレイのバランスとか調整は行ったっていうことこうコミコンで発表しましたけど、具体的にどういう調整が行ったでしょうか。
そうですね、もうキャラクターごとの話をしていくとものすごい細かくしかもたくさんあるのでなかなか言えない全部は言えないんですけど、キャラクターによっては新しい技が追加されたり新しいこう動きだったりが追加されたり、あとはその技によってこうなんだろうなこうフレーム数を変えたりとか、あとは体力をちょっといじったキャラクターとかもいたりします。
Oh yeah, I mean we carried out so many fixes to the game that it's really hard to enumerate them all right here.
Yeah.
But some of the more generic fixes we had. Like, for example, a lot of the old characters, some of them got new moves.
Yeah.
Some of the way they move is different. We've made changes to the frame count for a lot of the characters as well. Overall, we just tried to make it a more balanced, tighter game. So I think we've been able to accomplish that with this.
That sounds great. So, in light of that, one of the questions that we got from the fans was, which character was most fun to revamp?
まあ素晴らしい挑戦だと思いますけど、よくファンたちが言うことなんですが、一番挑戦するの楽しかったキャラは誰でしょうか？
楽しかった。今回で言うとカプコンでカプコンのキャラクターのものすごい代表的なでファイティングアクションゲームで有名なリュウっていうキャラクターがいるんですけど、このキャラクターをもうちょっとバーサスシリーズっぽく弾けることができないかっていうので、結構このキャラクターはかなり手こ入れをしてました。でやっぱそれを作るときにはかなりみんなでアイディアを出しながらやったので、非常にこれは面白かったかなと思います。
Well, one of the characters on the Capcom side that we really had fun making adjustments to was, he's the representative for the game, face of the game. It's Ryu, right? And the thing is, what we wanted to do is make sure that Ryu was this Ryu in this game was more suited to a versus fighting style game. We wanted to make him just over the top, like other characters in this game, because we didn't want to make him too Street Fighter-like. We wanted to make him more fit this world. So everyone on the team was just throwing out all these different ideas for him, and I think it really came out well.
A question that came up was there a character that you wanted to get in that you maybe got into the game? You don't have to say what it is if we haven't announced it yet.
Okay.
But is there a specific character you wanted in?
Niitsuma さんは個人的に入れたいキャラはあったでしょうか？もしまだ正式に発表されてないキャラであれば、その名前言わなくてもいいんですけど、でもNiitsumaさん自身はこういうキャラクターどうしても入れたい確定で入れられたんですか？
それはマーベルのキャラクターかな、カプコンのキャラクターかな。
On the Marvel or Capcom side?
Either one. Tell us both.
どっちでもいいですよ。もしありましたら両方。
カプコンキャラクターだったらばやっぱりそうだな、もうちょっと別ジャンルのキャラクターとか入れたかったですね。ファイティングアクションゲームのキャラクターというよりかはもっと別のジャンルのキャラクターをもうちょっと入れたかったなっていうのは。
One character he wanted to get in, but was he wanted to get in a character that wasn't one from a fighting game series.
Oh, okay.
Well, wanted just a non-fighting game character that would have been fun to get in.
マーベルキャラクターに関してはマーベルカプコン2の時にやったキャラクターっていうのをちょっと増やしたかったかなとは思ってます。ただこれはちょっとマーベルさんとの調整とかによってそういうふうにはならなかったっていう形です。
He was also hoping to get in some more Marvel characters that were in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh, yeah.
But Marvel had their preferences for certain other characters, so that's the list we went with in the end.
So, another question was talking about the story mode of the game. Has that changed a little bit? Been improved on or added to with the new character set?
Sorry, one more time?
With the new characters and everything else in the game, is the story mode improved on or added to?
じゃあキャラクターが増やされてることにつれてストーリーもなんか変更とか調整されてるでしょうか？
新キャラクターの、ストーリー、エンディングイラストだったりっていうのは、今回新しく作ってます。ただし、これはあくまでマグカップ4ではないので、そこまで全体的なストーリーが大きく変わったとかっていうところではありません。
For all the new characters in the game, we made sure to add any relevant story information for them in terms of ending changes and endings for the new characters and win quotes and everything. But because this is still Marvel vs. Capcom 3's story. It's not Marvel vs. Capcom 4 yet, so the basic story isn't going to change much from the original game.
Sounds great. So, I'm looking at some of the questions and they're pretty silly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, one that came up a little while ago. I don't know if you can talk about this, but the X Factor seems to have changed a little bit. Fans are noticing from watching, and I think Seth even mentioned something that it was normalized, and they're wondering if you can elaborate on that.
ちょっとX Factor っていう技がちょっと調整されてるように見えますけど、まあ話すことができるかどうかわからないんですが、なんか X Factor はどういうふうに調整されてるんでしょうか。
そうですね、実は X ファクターってもっと大きく直そうかなと思ってたんですけど、これもあくまでやっぱり 3.5 っていう部分も含めた上で、最終的には、そこまで大きく手はつけない形にしました。
Okay, yeah, we did make some adjustments to the X Factor in the game. We didn't want to completely overhaul it because it's still Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We wanted it to be familiar to fans of the original game, but we did make some adjustments to it.
でちなみに、変わったところでいくとですね、まあ、一番大きく変わったのは、空中でも発動できるっていうことです。
Okay, but one of the biggest changes to the X Factor is the fact that now you can perform it in the air.
でこれをやることによって多分、前作できなかった戦略だったり動きだったりとかができると思うので、まあ、これが一番大きな一つ変更の一つです。
So now you can employ it and do it in ways that you couldn't use in the first game. So it's going to affect the way you move and the way you fight. So this is one of the biggest changes to the X Factor.
Wow.
それでもう一つは皆さん気になるところでいくと、まあ、攻撃力の調整、動きの調整っていう部分は、若干バランス、変えてます。
And also based on feedback from fans, some people were concerned that sometimes X Factor was too powerful at times. So we made sure that we kind of balanced it amongst the characters in terms of the strength of it. So that's another big change there.
So another question about the changes came up here. What changes are there to the online experience? So that's a pretty big question. So.
まあ三島さんおっしゃったのはオンライン要素とかネットワークが強化されたんですけど、まあどういう具体的にどういうふうに調整されてるでしょうか。
そうですね。マッチングのラグを軽減できるようにしたりとか、あとは再マッチングする時の時間を減らすようプログラムを修正したり調整したりとか、あとはマッチングするときに相手をこうちゃんと確認できるようなフローを作ったりとかっていう部分が一番多分大きいかなというふうに思います。
Okay, well, one of the things we've done is we sped up the matching process, where I tried to remove a lot of the lag from the gameplay when you're playing online. Also, just making it easier, the menu flow and stuff for rematching, replaying certain opponents. So overall, we tried to make it so the matchmaking in the game is a much more fluid process, much more intuitive and easier to use.
Sounds awesome. So there's a lot of very specific character questions on here. I don't know if you want to talk about them. They're asking about very specific moves on some of the older characters. Like, does Viper have new moves? There's one here about Shuma. Anyway, Viper first if you want to talk about them.
Let's see what we can say. ちょっとみんなは結構細かい質問を聞いてるんですけど、まあ答えになれるかどうかわからないんですけど、少し聞いてもよろしいですか。
答えられる範囲であれば。
Yeah, he says he'll answer what he can.
Okay. Someone was asking about Viper. If she has any new moves.
クリムズンバイパーの方ですけど、新技はあるでしょうか。
クリムズンバイパーは新技あります。
Oh yeah, she has a new move.
Awesome. Here's something that someone else was asking. Is there a way to do anything with replays? Can you save replays? Anything like that?
ちょっとリプレイについて登録録画再生する機能とかはあるんでしょうか。
今回観戦モードは一応搭載してるんですけど、リプレイモードっていうのは、今のところ、制作の方は、していません。
We do have a spectator mode in the game, but right now, at our current stage of development, there's no replay mode.
Okay. So, there's a few people asking about the new HUD, and they're wondering if it's final.
Okay. このユーザーインターフェースは楽しくなったんですけど、これは最終版になってるでしょうか？
いえ、実はこれ最終版ではないです。コミコンバージョンっていう形であります。で、多分今の質問で言うとアシストというか出てないキャラクターの体力ゲージが見づらいっていう風な意見が多分皆さんであると思うので、実はこれもうちょっと改造もうちょっと見やすくするように色味とかは製品版は変わってます。
Yeah, this is just the version we have here for Comic-Con, not the final version of the HUD.
A lot of people say it's big.
Yeah, he says he understands some people might think the assist characters too. It's hard to see their life gauge too when it's out there. So we're working on that right now. This is just for Comic-Con. This is not the final version.
あともう一個あるのが初心者の方用でちょっとやったんですけどX ファクターを使う前にみんな3人とも倒されちゃうっていう時が結構あったんで。ちゃんとX ファクターまだ使えるよっていう風なこともアピールしたかったんで X ファクターのゲージがちょっと大きくなったりはするんです。
And we're adding something else, especially for novice players. A lot of them weren't aware of the fact that they could use their X factor during the game. And so we're going to add a little touch to the gauges so that you can see that you still have your X factor available if you want to use it.
Someone else had asked if there's going to be any rewards for people who have the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3 if they buy the Ultimate Marvel.
前作を購入した方はアウトメットを購入するとなんか特典とかもらえるでしょうか？
特典ってゲーム中の部分でちょっといくつか前作をやったセーブデータがあればすぐに遊べるっていう風なモードはあります。
Yeah, there'll be something for those people. So if you bought the last game and you have the save data on your system or console, then when you get this game, there'll be some stuff unlocked in game that you'll be able to use right away.
There you go. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Love it. I love when I get the little things myself. I know these guys. So, the one thing I have to bring up, because they're going to keep asking it, and it's filling the chat, and I know you probably can't answer it. There's a lot of people curious about Mega Man. If there will be anything with Mega Man in Marvel.
ちょっと答えられるかどうかわからないんですけど、よく一番ユーザーから来られてる質問はメガマンのことなんですけど、メガマンについて何か教えていただけないでしょうか？
メガマンについて
なんかキャラリストはバレてるからもう出てこないって分かってるけど、なんかどっかの形で出てこないでしょうか？
そうですね、このゲームの次の展開があるかどうかは分からないですけども、マーベル VS カプコン3が、非常にユーザーの皆さんに愛されてすごいたくさん売れたからこそこのゲームが作れたので、このアルティメットマブカップ3の結果いかんによっては次の展開っていうのが考えられるかもしれないです。今のところは申し訳ありませんがそのぐらいしか言えるところはないですね。
So I can't really speak much to that right now, but I will say this. I mean, the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it sold pretty well. The fan reception was good. So that's why we were able to make Ultimate. I think if that process repeats itself, there might be chances for continuations or responding positively to fan requests down the line. But unfortunately, I can't say anything more concrete than that right now.
Okay. Well, thank you. These guys will be glad that at least there was some answer.
その程度でも答えていただいてありがとうございます。
So, another question that popped up was that because Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was so popular in the tournament scene, has that sort of changed the way you've looked at balancing and tweaking Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
前作のマーブカップ3は結構大会で用いられているので、そういう大会で使われていることを見て、今回の作品の調整の影響にあったんでしょうか？
もちろん全部ではないですけども、それはやっぱりユーザーの声っていう意味ではかなりリク 具体的に捉えることができる要素というかものの一つでありますので、やっぱりいくつかは参考にしたところはあります。
Oh yeah, I mean it did have an impact. I mean I can't say we were able to respond to every fan request out there, but yeah. I mean tournaments were just one of the ways in which we heard from the fans, got feedback from the fans, and that feedback went a long way into being able to rebalance and retool this game as it is now. So we tried to listen to the fans where possible.
Well, speaking of that, we're going to have a tournament again today at 3, so...
まあそういえば今日の3時から大会が開催されますので。
そうですね、まあなかなかネットで見てる方はみんな来てねって言ってもなかなか大変だと思うんですけど、ただもうそういう配信とか見てても非常にみんなやっぱり前作をやったことがあるメンバーでそれにさらに新キャラクターが足してるんで、もう初めからかなりなんでしょうね、高度な戦いとかいっぱいあるんで、すごい見てて面白いんじゃないかなというふうに思います。
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting for especially all the viewers at home watching this, because you're going to get a lot of people in that tournament who are probably seasoned players who are very used to this game. But
it was exciting yesterday.
But we got some new characters in there, so we got something new in the mix.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see what people are going to do with that.
So here's a pretty technical question someone had asked. Is there a way to disable the start button when you're playing a match so you don't accidentally, mash it?
ちょっとテクニカル、細かい質問なんですけど、プレイ中にスタートバトンを無効にする機能はあるでしょうか。なんか激しい戦いの途中で間違ってスタートを押したりする人もいるので。
製品版には入ってないですね、一応。ただね、イベント版の時に時々入れたりはするんですよ、そのネタってね。
In the retail version of the game, there probably won't be anything like that.
Okay.
But for our tournaments and whatnot, we've been known to try and make adjustments like that, just for the sake of the tournaments.
ただそれ意見として製品版にどうするかはじゃあちょっと考えてみます。
But I mean, if everyone is clamoring for something like that, we can see if we can get something like that in for the retail version of the game.
So another question that came up was about the DLC for the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Will those various DLCs work with Ultimate Marvel? And I think they're namely talking about Jill and Shuma, but I know we had the various shadow modes and everything else. So
前作購入したダウンロードコンテンツはこの新作にも使い回されるでしょうか。もちろんジルとシマゴラスなんですけど、そのシャドウモードとかはもう可能でしょうか。
そうですね。前作のコンテンツでジルとシマゴラス、あとは6体のコスチューム、これに関しては購入した人に関してはそのまま使えます。
Okay, so for the people who bought the DLC for the last game, specifically Jill, Shmugarath, and costume packs, those will be able to be used, if you have the save data for them, will be able to be used in Ultimate.
であと、ドリームバトルとかに関しては、今回に関してはそこの部分は、実は削除されているので、そこに関しては、受け継ぐ形ではないです。
So Shadow Mode, however, that mode will not be available in the new version of the game. So that mode itself is just, and the content related to it is just limited to the original version of MVC3.
Sounds good. So there's a lot of questions about specific characters seeing new moves and something like that. So I'm going to try and sum it all up.
Okay.
Did every single character see new moves? Have they been changed? Every single character?
旧キャラのことなんですけど、全員が新しい技つけられたんでしょうか。
全員ではないです。キャラクターによって、先ほど言ったように新技が増えたりはするんですけども、全員ではなく一部キャラクターに関しては、新技の調整とキャラ追加とかではなく、既存のあるキャラ動きでの、それを性能を良くしたアッパー版にしたりとかって、そういった形で対応しているものもあります。
No, it's not for all the characters, unfortunately. It's for the characters that needed, that we thought needed some tweaking. So some of them got a certain portion of the old characters got new moves. Some of them had some of their moves refined. So it's really done for the balancing issues more than anything. So it's not done to every character.
So, one question here is, will the simple mode now have a way to access all the moves? Like before, you couldn't get everything. Is that improved at all now?
シンプルモードなんですけど、前作ではシンプルモード使うと、必殺技すべては使えることは不可能だったんですけど、今回の作品ではシンプルモード使うと、必殺技すべて使えるようになるんでしょうか？
そこは、前作のマブカップ3と一緒で、シンプルモードの場合に関してはやっぱり技の制限というのは、同じくかかっています。
No, it's going to be similar to what we had in the original MVC3. When you play simple mode, you have a limited number of special attacks that will be available to you.
Sounds good. So, we have a few questions on stages, new stages and everything else, and then one in specific. Someone asked about Cadillac's Island, the new snowy setting. Is that replacing the old one?
ちょっとステージについてなんですけど、メガマンロックマンダッシュのステージのカドラックアイランドがちょっと雪の、吹雪の場面になってるんですけど、以前のカドラックアイランドのステージはなくなったっていうことでしょうか？
いえ、前回のステージはそのままあります。
No. We still have all the old stages in the game as well.
So, how many? Well, I don't know if you can say how many new stages, or they're going to be just plenty.
じゃあ具体的な数字言えるかどうかわからないんですけど、新ステージはいくつかになるんでしょうか？
新ステージは全部で8個です。
Actually, I can tell you there'll be 8 new stages.
Okay. Very cool. Can you tell us what they might be, or not yet?
どんなようなステージは説明いただけるでしょうか？それともまだですか？
いや、基本的にカトロックスのそのステージみたいに既存のステージをこうシチュエーションを変えたり、例えばカトロックステージが夜で花火が上がってたりするものを雪のステージにしたりとかっていうものと一緒で、例えば夜のステージを昼にしたりとか、昼のステージを夜にしたりとか、そういった形でうまくステージ新しいステージを構成しています。
No, there are going to be variations of the old stages that we had in the game. So like Cadillac's Island, where before it was the night scene with the fireworks, now it's during the day and has the snow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of day-night reversal going on there.
Okay, cool.
That has impacted what's in the background of those stages as well. So there's going to be different things going on now as a result of that.
So, someone asked earlier if the tournament scene and a lot of the tournament results were some factors in what changes were made to the balance of the game.
大会のなんていうおかげかせいでその大会の成果によってやっぱりこういう風に調整しないといけないということはあったんですか？
そうです。
例えば人がずるいことで優勝したとか、こういうしょうもないことで負けたとか、そういうことが調整においてありましたか？
そうですね、全部ではないんですけども、その大会を見ることによって気づくことっていうのはあったので、その中で、実際やるか調整をするかしないかっていうのはいろいろ決めてきた形にはなると思います。
I can't say that every tournament had an impact on this game's development. But of the tournaments we were able to see and the results of those tournaments, we did take them all into consideration, and a lot of them did have an impact in how we balance this version of the game.
One specific question. I know we talked about the online and lobby changes a little bit, but they're asking if there's a way to potentially even do something like change the time limit so they can go in and adjust that.
The timing?
Time limit.
Oh, okay. ちょっとオプションとロビーの調整があったっておっしゃったんですけど、でもタイムリミットとかそういう調整も行えるようになったでしょうか？
タイムリミットの調整、一応前作からその時間のその選択っていうのはできたと思うんですけど、それ以外のところですかね。それはまあ今回も普通にオプションとモードしてありますけど、時間が無限だったりとか99だったりとか、そこは全部あります。
I think to an extent you were able to make adjustments to the time in the previous version of the game, but that will be available in the options. Like you will be able to set to infinite time or whatever you want within certain restrictions.
Here's a request more than a question. Someone wants a change log of all the changes to the various characters so they can catalog it and improve.
ちょっと一人のファンからのリクエストなんですけど、変更とか全キャラの変更と調整のリストアップしてほしいなんですけど、それは可能でしょうか。
前作と変わったところっていうのは、言えるところはちょっと言っていきたいなとは思ってますが、やっぱり全部言ってしまうとなかなか難しいところもありますんで、なんかちょっといろいろ考えます。
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can get a full list available out to you, but we're going to try and we're cataloging the changes and keeping track of what we're doing, so hopefully we can get something out there to show what's different about this game from the previous version.
One of the other things that's come up is the colors and costumes. So they're going to be more colors for the characters this time around, and what else was there? Okay, we'll ask the colors one first. There was another question about that I forgot.
Okay. まずはコスチュームについてなんですけど、その色違いは増えられてるでしょうか。
はい、今回はコスチュームのカラーがまたちょっと全部、増えてます。かなり今回はそこも苦労した部分の一つではあります。
Oh yeah, we've expanded the number of colors, costumes in the game, so we really put a lot of work into making it a really nice package for people.
I know you can't answer it, but I might ask it anyway.
Yeah.
Is there a new boss for Ultimate Marvel?
答えられるかどうかわからないんですが、Ultimate には新しい最終ボスは出るんでしょうか。
最終ボス、出ません。あくまでやっぱり先ほども言った通り、マブカップ4であればありなんですけど、 3.5 という形も踏まえた上で、あとはやっぱりスケジュールの中で、できることできないことっていうのを取捨選択した上で、今回に関しては、ラスボスは、前作のギャラクタスと変わりません。ただギャラクタスに関してはちょっとした仕掛けというかコンテンツをちょっと考えてますので、そこは楽しみにしてもらえればと思います。
No, there's no new end boss in this game. Like I said earlier, this is still Marvel vs. Capcom 3 part of the franchise, not Marvel vs. Capcom 4. So it's the same boss, but that doesn't mean we've left him untouched. We've added some things. I'll just say that we put some flourishes on it, so it's not exactly the same as it was in the last game.
So we're coming up on our time.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
そろそろ時間なんですけど、お別れになる前にはニッツモさんから最後のメッセージとか伝えになりたいことがありますか？
そうですね、ちょっと前作から時間がちょっと短いスパンではありますけども、いろいろな要素であったり、もちろん新キャラクターを追加であったりとか、ネットワークの強化をしたりとか、あとは既存のキャラクターの調整、技のいろいろやったりしてるんで、前作とはまた違ったバランスになるかと思いますので、またその部分はね結構いろいろ楽しめるんじゃないかなというふうに思いますので、ちょっと発売までまた楽しみにしてもらえればと思います。
Okay, yeah. Well, it's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. We got a whole bunch of new characters, new stages. We've rebalanced things. We improved network functionality. There's a whole lot of new stuff in the game, especially the rebalancing and the retooling of the old characters. I think that's going to be really fun for a lot of people. They got a whole new way to look at these characters. They're not the same characters you had in the last game, so it's going to be fun for people playing this game. There are going to be a lot of cool things in it for them, so please check it out.
So, that said, when is it coming out, and how much is it?
じゃあ発売日と値段はどうでしょうか？
はい、もうすでに発表はしてますけども、 発売日は、今のところ11月の、発売を想定しています。ただちょっと何日かっていう部分に関しては最後の調整をしている形になります。で、値段に関しては、アメリカ39.99ドルと、頑張って値段もちょっと下がってますので、ぜひ楽しみにしてもらえればと思います。
Alright, the game will be out in November of this year. We haven't set an actual day yet, but for right now, the game will be coming out this November. And the game it will retail in America for $39.99. So we tried to get the price down as low as possible. So please check it out.
Sounds like the right price to me.
All right.
Thank you, Niitsuma-san and Miguel, for coming to talk to us about Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
時間いただいてありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。僕もユーザーの皆さんとかで話せるってすごい、楽しかったです。
Oh yeah, I had a really great time being here and being able to talk to the fans. So thanks for having me.
Definitely. We'll get you back soon. We'll also have to see if we can record your panel.
待ってすぐ招待します。で、あとコミコンのパネルは録画できたらいいな。
あと、イボにも行くんで、イボに来られる方はまたイボで会いましょうという。
Oh, just one more thing. I'm going to Evo, so if anyone's going to be at Evo next week, please come over and say hi.
Are you bringing Ultimate with you?
アルティメットも持っていきますか。
一応出店する予定です。
Yeah, we're going to have it on display there. We'll have it out.
Oh, wow. Ultimate at Evo. Nice. Very exciting. All right. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
We'll see you guys online soon.